Hello everybody! Welcome to the week! Here we go! I love living in Crete! So this last week in Crete, it's been so beautiful and sunny. It really feels as if the summer has finally come bursting through with all its might. It's been so lovely. So there's quite a lot of the fresh summer fruits and vegetables coming through now. And I've been down to my favourite fruit and veg shop and brought lots and lots of fresh veggies and fruits, and I've been rustling up some new concoctions in my kitchen. I'm here in my very favourite fruit and veg shop. My goodness, this is where it all happens, guys and gals. Oh, just beautiful. I feel so fit and healthy, and I've been working out quite a lot, running on the beach, and John and I got the gym equipment up from the basement and we've put it out on the patio upstairs. And it's also been really beautiful and warm enough for me to go out onto the patio and do a couple of yoga sessions out there, so that's really good as well. It's just really conducive, this weather, really conducive to making you want to go out and exercise and keep in shape. It's kind of healthy weather, isn't it, summer? So we're sat here on the plateau having a lovely iced coffee, or frappe as the Greeks call it. We're having a freddo cappuccino metrios. I'll insert a little picture of that. But we're also having the most delicious spanaki that I have had in a very long time. It's phyllo pastry topped with the sesame, but the filling is spinach. And sometimes they use wild greens or horta. I think this has some mint in it. It is frankly the most delicious spanaki I have had, well, probably ever. How lovely is that? Traditional Cretan pitta. And guess what, folks? It's vegan. So one of the things that I really fancied having a go at making was nut meat. I always want to laugh when I say that. Nut meat. It's highly nutritious. So I bought some Brazil nuts and some walnuts, and such a simple recipe. I started off by just frying off a few spices. I used a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of black pepper and 2 teaspoons of cumin, and I just fried those off a little bit in some olive oil. And then to that I added up some garlic. You can just put a couple of cloves in, or whatever, however much garlic you like. We quite like a lot of garlic in our house, so I put 2 or 3 in. Loads of mushrooms. I had about a cup of mushrooms, all finely chopped, and a whole aubergine, also really finely chopped, because you're trying to resemble the texture of mince, so have them really finely chopped. And then I let those just sweat down a bit to soften down. And then to that I added some veggie stock, and I made this from a teaspoon of Marmite in half a pint of hot water, boiling water from the kettle, and I just mixed that up till the Marmite had dissolved. And then I added that to the pan of softened vegetables. I also added a couple of little shakes of soy sauce. I then had my bag of walnuts and my bag of Brazil nuts. They were 250 gram bags, and I plonked them both into my food processor, and then I just pulsed it. You don't want to leave the food processor running, because otherwise you'll end up with some sort of nut butter, which by the way is also very tasty, but you don't want that for this recipe. You just want kind of crumbly texture, because don't forget you're aiming for the texture of minced beef. You then add the nuts into the vegetable mixture, into the pan, and you'll notice that then all the water gets all sort of sucked up, all sort of, I think the nuts seem to absorb some of the water, and then I just left that simmering for a bit, for about 10 minutes, and that's pretty much it. It was so yummy, and we just had ours with some green beans, which I cooked off lightly, and some rice. But this nut meat, yeah, there was loads of it, absolutely loads of it, so we had some the following day as well. I wanted to do some wraps and fill them with salad and guacamole and some of this meat, this mince, this nut meat. So I just used lettuce leaves instead of actual wraps, but you could use proper wraps or flatbread or anything like that, tortillas, corn tortillas, anything of that nature, and just all these little salady bits that you've chopped up. I made some really nice guacamole. I put some ginger in it as well, actually, just for extra interest, because it was just so zingy and beautiful, and then popped the nut meat on top. It's the best, that nut meat, it's great. So that was really tasty, and it's highly nutritious with all those Brazil nuts in it and walnuts, just fantastic for the omega-3s and 6s. So yeah, fantastic, lots of good of them. Oh, I found a really cute little baby lizard one day when I was cleaning. It was kind of living between the shutter and the window, and as I opened the shutter, this thing dropped. I looked down, and cutest little baby lizard. It was so adorable.
Come here. I'm going to call him Harold because it's a nice name.
Oh, you're super cute. Oh my god, I love him. Hello, sweetness.
Make sure it doesn't climb onto your head.
Oh god, I don't think I want him on my head. So that's pretty much been my week, besides all the usual little household chores that mummies have to do, you know, feeding the family and cooking and cleaning and all those kinds of things that mummies do, and even feeding the cat and the dog, although you do have to be a bit careful feeding our cat, because she gets right under your feet. Nowhere to put my foot. I'm going to tread on you, you silly Billy. Oh. You have to be so careful, because she's going to trip me up if I'm not careful. Nearly there. You are a funny girl, eh? You are a funny girl. See you next time on the Living in Crete channel. Mwah. Bye.